Hey everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records. It is time for our weekly dive into some of the new releases headed to an independent record store near you. As always, we're just going to hit the highlights. The list is way too big to get into in a short video. Attention spans, you know how that works. So if you'd like to see that full list, all you have to do is head over to our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. From there, just look for the upcoming releases link. Click on that and you'll see a PDF that lists everything that there is to see for this upcoming week. Some big stuff on the docket this week and some interesting stuff. And in the reissues, it's almost May the 4th. You're never going to believe, gee, what is in there? Before we dive into this week's new releases, I do have something coming up on the horizon that we wanted to get out there. It's a fairly significant announcement from Alice Cooper. Yes, it's from Alice Cooper, but think back further to Alice Cooper as a band, Alice Cooper. The announcement is for a brand new album called The Revenge of Alice Cooper. And the description on this one says, for the first time in over 50 years, Alice Cooper and the original band Alice Cooper reunite to bring rock and roll back from the shadows. So The Revenge of Alice Cooper is a high-voltage journey into the vintage horror and classic 70s shock rock. Together, they created an album that is packed with sound, energy, and mischief that made them legendary. So this is upcoming. We're going to have a lot more to talk about on this one, but I wanted to get this out here because I do think that this is going to be a big release coming up down the line. But The Revenge of Alice Cooper, so far, we see a black vinyl version and a yellow vinyl version. Each of these, by the way, are double LP. And it looks like it's going to be around $40 for the black and around $45 for the colored vinyl. But I also see that there's a possibility that there may be a marble colored vinyl, but I cannot confirm that from my distributors yet. That may be an exclusive somewhere. We'll just have to keep an eye on that and see as it gets closer. But you've got a little ways on this one. The scheduled release date for The Revenge of Alice Cooper is July 25th. So a little bit of time on this one. But again, I wanted to get that out and get it in front of you guys so we can start placing pre-orders. Not sure how short of a run that's going to be, but better safe than sorry, and take chances if these pressings end up limited. But let's take a look at the new releases now, scheduled for Friday, the 2nd of May, 2025. And I'm going to include this next one in the new releases because technically, this is the first time this is being officially released on vinyl. And I'm speaking, of course, of Pink Floyd at Pompeii. This has been bootlegged countless times over the years, but this, as I mentioned, is the first official release. Now that Pink Floyd catalog is sold, they're going to start digging back through some of this old stuff is my guess. But Pompeii is one of those legendary concerts that Pink Floyd put on way back when in the post-Syd Barrett and early David Gilmour era. And this is just a phenomenal recording. Even the bootlegs have been very cool over the years. But our description says that Pink Floyd at Pompeii, the official title of this one is MCMLXXI. It's the groundbreaking 1972 film by Adrian Mabin, and now everything has been digitally remastered and remixed by the one and only Steven Wilson. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this legendary concert, it is set in the hauntingly beautiful ruins of the ancient Roman amphitheater at Pompeii, Italy. So the unique film that this comes from captures Pink Floyd performing a very intimate concert, i.e. no one in that auditorium. This audio companion contains the live performances from the film, as well as 2 additional tracks, including a previously unreleased and extended version of A Saucer Full of Secrets. So as mentioned, this is official for the first time on vinyl, double LP black vinyl, Pink Floyd at Pompeii. The list price for this one comes in at $45. Sorry, no color variants. I'm assuming they're going to be doing a box set down the line on this one at some point. Now, in addition to the audio side of things, because this comes from a film in 1972, they are also reissuing or issuing the video versions of this, one coming on Blu-ray and on DVD. Normally, we don't deal with those, but I can order each of those if you would like that side of things. There's no big package with all of this together like you would have thought there might be, a box set of sorts. Again, my guess is that's coming down the line. But if in addition to the vinyl, you'd like either the Blu-ray or the DVD, we can get a hold of those as well. The Blu-ray comes in at a suggested list price of $30, and the standard DVD version of this comes in at $24. Again, both of those have the audio remix by Steven Wilson. So very cool stuff. Very excited to see this one being released from Pink Floyd. Well, the musical powers that be behind Pink Floyd now. Also on the new release front, we've got something brand new from the space rock legends, Hawkwind. This is called There Is No Space for Us. Wasn't able to find too much on our distributor site regarding this, but out there on the web, I find some info that says There Is No Space for Us is the 37th studio album by the English space rock band Hawkwind. Described as an album that focuses on synthesizer and, quote, more straightforward musical stylings as compared to their previously released recent albums, There Is No Space for Us consists of 8 songs with a total runtime of over 53 minutes. So again, brand new stuff from Hawkwind, double LP. There Is No Space for Us. This one, I believe, on black vinyl only. $43 is the suggested list price there. Up next on the new releases, who is ready for their 20th trip down the Brown Acid compilation train? Yep, the Brown Acid compilations have reached number 20. These things are very cool comps of totally obscure hard rock and early heavy metal bands. And our description on this one says these 10 vintage early local hard rock eruptions on this will swarm around you like fear and loathing. So the killer tracks on these may be a half century in the rearview mirror, but they give up a vibe that resonates timelessly as real life ripped out by the haze of real people. Stuff on here from groups that I've never heard of, but again, the Brown Acid compilations do that dig for you. After Flash, Pavlo, Hot Candy, the Banana Bros, let's see, Sandy Toronto, Lazy Day Flavor, and a few more on here. So the Brown Acid, the 20th trip, various artists compilation, does not say this one is on colored vinyl. Usually these are, but can't quite find the info on this one. $28 is the suggested list price there. Brand new stuff from Suzanne Vega. This is called Flying with Angels. And our description says that Flying with Angels is Suzanne Vega's first studio album of new songs in 11 years, bearing the stamp of a masterful storyteller who observes the world with a clinically poetic eye. That's according to the New York Times. Vega's new songs find her returning to observations of city life, ordinary people, and real-world subjects. Looks like the standard version of this is coming on gray smoke vinyl, listing for $36, and then there is an indie exclusive also, not pictured here, but this one coming on white colored vinyl. $36 is the suggested list price for that one as well. New stuff also from Eric Church. This is called Evangeline versus the Machine. The description says that this is his 8th studio album and features 8 new songs, including The Darkest Hour and Hands of Time. So brand new stuff from Eric Church, black vinyl, this one coming in at a suggested list price of $28. And then finally, just including this one because it's got really kind of a cool cover. This is from a group called Wellerman, and the album is called Northern Sky. The description says that music is storytelling, and some of the best stories have been told through centuries-old traditional folk songs. So on their new album, Northern Sky, the Wellerman have given this rich traditional musical history a new sound, hoping to continue to captivate millions of fans around the world. Again, I've not heard of this band, but this appears to be traditional folk music from around the world. Northern Sky is the title of this. I'll have to look this up online and see if we can listen to some sound samples. $25 is the suggested list price for that one. Onward now to the reissues scheduled for Friday, the 2nd of May, 2025. And you know what comes a couple of days after May 2nd? May the 4th. And there is a slate of Star Wars reissues on tap for this weekend as well, kicking it off with an interesting one called Star Wars Lo-Fi, music from volumes 1 through 3. The description on this is rather sparse. It simply says, available for the first time on splatter vinyl, Star Wars Lo-Fi includes lo-fi mixes from and inspired by Star Wars films and the Disney Plus series. So if you're a fan of lo-fi music, this might be just right up your alley. This one coming on that colored splattered vinyl, Star Wars Lo-Fi music from volumes 1 through 3, $26 is the suggested list price there. Then Mr. Williams has entered the chat. John Williams conducts John Williams, the Star Wars Trilogy. This one coming from Music on Vinyl, and it is on blue vinyl as well. The description says that in 1990, John Williams created this companion album of John Williams Conducts John Williams, the Star Wars Trilogy, which featured 13 of his most memorable tracks from the original trilogy, all performed by the Skywalker Symphony Orchestra. It features iconic tunes like the main theme and Throne Room, Finale, and so forth. So this one, again coming from Music on Vinyl, will be strictly limited to 1,000 individually numbered copies on translucent blue colored vinyl. Price is going to be up there because of all of that, but still it's going to sound very, very cool. John Williams conducts John Williams, the Star Wars Trilogy double LP music on vinyl. $53 is the suggested list price there. And then finally, we are seeing a reissue of The Empire Strikes Back from 1980. This is the symphonic suite from the original motion picture score. The description says it originally released to supplement, not compete with the double LP motion picture soundtrack of The Empire Strikes Back. This single LP release skillfully combines the symphonic suite that John Williams created for the concert performance with new arrangements of other cues from the film score. So this is a fantastic long out-of-print album. Comes in a gatefold jacket with the iconic Star Wars paintings by William Stout, plus images of John Williams and liner notes from author Ray Bradbury, composer and critic Christopher Palmer, and from the maestro himself. So out of print since the original 1980 pressing, this 180-gram black vinyl pressing of The Empire Strikes Back Symphonic Suite single LP comes in at a suggested list price of $26. And speaking of soundtracks, not Star Wars related, but music on vinyl related, we're getting a reissue of Dances with Wolves, the original soundtrack, coming on limited edition yellow translucent vinyl. The original composer on this one is John Barry, and because it's music on vinyl, it is also limited to 1,000 individually numbered copies on that yellow-colored vinyl. This is the original soundtrack to the 1990 7-time Academy Award winner and 3-time Golden Globe Award winner of the film of the same name. List price on this one, Dances with Wolves, coming in at $40. One more music on vinyl to tell you about. This one is coming from Level 42, and it's a compilation called Past Lives, the best of the RCA years. Double LP, limited edition of 1,000 individually numbered copies on a yellow-colored vinyl. This one was originally released in 2007. The Best of the RCA Years is a compilation album that highlights Level 42's work during their time with RCA Records. Double LP, as we mentioned, individually numbered copies on that yellow-colored vinyl. $55 is the suggested list price there. And aside from all of that, we do have a regular reissue of Running in the Family from Level 42. This one on 180-gram red-colored vinyl. This one was originally released in 1987, and this one also does really recreate the original UK pressing in both its look and feel. But again, that 180-gram red vinyl is new to this. $35 is the suggested list price for that reissue. Next up is a remastered reissue of The Oracle from the band Godsmack. The description says that this has been remastered on vinyl for the first time. It's Godsmack's 5th album, The Oracle, returning with more fan-favorite rock smashes like Crying Like a Bee, Saints and Sinners, and Love, Hate, Sex, Pain. Godsmack never sounded more alive than they did on this album, which topped the Billboard 200 chart when it was originally released in 2010. Black vinyl reissue of Godsmack, The Oracle. This one listing for about $28. And then finally, we've got a huge reissue coming from the prog rock giants, Gentle Giant. This is called Playing the Fool, the complete live experience. This one was originally released in 1977. Playing the Fool at that time captured Gentle Giant at the peak of their live performance prowess. Now, over 45 years later, the beloved live album has been reimagined, mixed, and mastered, bringing a fresh level of clarity and depth to the Gentle Giant live experience. Triple LP on black vinyl, Gentle Giant's Playing the Fool, the complete live experience. Looks like this has got some other goodies coming with it as well. $44 is the suggested list price there. And that is a quick check of some of the new releases headed our way for Friday, the 2nd of May, 2025. If you're local and you see something you'd like us to try to get a hold of, just contact us here at the store. Otherwise, to see the full list of everything else that's coming out, and there is a lot of other stuff coming out, head over to our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. From there, you can click on the upcoming vinyl tab, and you'll see that PDF that lists everything that we mentioned, rather everything that we couldn't mention in today's short video. So until next time, this is Jim from Radio Wasteland. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, comment, do all the stuff that YouTube likes you to do, and we will talk to you next time from Radio Wasteland.